Alright guys, what's up? It's DemonicLamb here from Plasmic Gaming, and today I'm going to show you why you should purchase the alpha version of DayZ Stand-Alone today, or whenever you can spare the 20 quid, I guess. So first of all, I'll talk to you about like controls and stuff. So controls really simple, just running around with WASD. You change your view from first person to third person with the enter key. You can sprint by double tapping W, but I've got mine keybinded to a mouse button. You can get your fists out with the space button, and then while they're out you can punch, or you can use your weapon or whatever's in your hand. Pretty simple. You can zoom in with the right mouse button. You can crouch with the X button and get back up to the C button. The reason there's two buttons for that is because if you're prone with the Z button, you can choose whether you want to go into a crouch position, or while you're prone again, just go straight up into a standing position by pressing C. It just gives you more sort of control over what your character wants to do in any given situation. So first of all, what we want to do is you want to bring up your inventory by pressing the tab key. And here you can see we've got the vicinity, which is the area, the circumference around your character. If there's any items around your character, they'll appear in here. You can also drag items into there, and they'll appear as well. So first of all, here's our player. That's us, spinning round and making him go dizzy. We've got a debuff at the moment, but buffs and debuffs appear here. You got whatever's in your hands, so I can drag an item from there into my hands like that, and then it appears in my hands. Press X to put it back in there. Here's my inventory. So right now I've got some athletic shoes and a t-shirt. You can see that they're pristine at the moment. They can go from pristine to worn to damaged to badly damaged, and then finally ruined, which means they can't work. Basically, when they're pristine, they're in good condition, and anything below pristine, they just get into a worse condition. Kind of obvious, really, but you know, I won't tell you about that anyway. And as you can see in my jeans, I've got 4 slots, so I can put items in there. And you start with a torch just like this, but I'm actually going to get rid of that because I'm on a day server. I actually don't like the night mode of this game. It's just really annoying. It's scary as hell as well if there's like zombies around. So to start with, what I would honestly say to you is to drag your t-shirt into the vicinity like this, double right click it, and you can see a bunch of things. You can inspect it and gives you a description, or you can take it into your bag a few ways actually. You can double click it and then it'll go onto wherever it thinks it needs to go. Or you can drag it into your inventory, or you can even drag it onto your character. There's a few ways of picking up stuff. Double clicking is really good though. It just depends where you want it, because it's kind of got like the Resident Evil Tetris system going on. So like it takes up spots. And I think I just lost my t-shirt. Oh, there it is. So you can see it appears in my vicinity when I get near it. So what you want to do, you want to tear it into rags, and the reason you want to do this is because it's actually a useless item. It doesn't do anything just yet. It hasn't got any pockets, and it's just really useful to turn them into like 2 rags like this, because if you start bleeding, if you get hit by a zombie, you can bandage yourself up using those rags. So it's more useful to turn them into rags. So to start with, what we want to do is you want to find a town. And luckily I actually spawned next to one, but as you can see, some of these doors are open, which actually means that they've already been looted. And the loot is randomly generated depending on the server. So I think I'm on a high loot server right now, just for now, just to get my character up, and for the purpose of the video, to find as many items as I can to talk about. There's a chest holster there. So you saw that, then I just picked it up. The way I picked it up was by pressing the F key. That is the action button. You can do that with doors as well. If you get this little symbol there, you can just press F and open and close the door just like that. I find using the vicinity a lot more useful though. just because of the fact then I can drag it to where I want it and it doesn't just appear on my character. Okay, so got some for now. These are just more, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Aesthetic items. They don't really do anything, they just make your character look cooler. But this right here, that's a can of beans. And what you want to do is you want to feed your character with food and drink until you get certain buffs. And you get rid of certain debuffs. Because at the moment you saw that my character was hungry, which obviously means he needs feeding. Kind of works the way Sims does, in the fact that you need to keep him healthy. There's all sorts of different things that that you have to account for in your character. I don't know if you know this, you probably do, but this is also an online game. So if we press the P button, you can see other players that are online, and they're just searching for just as much as you. So you need to make sure that you say that you're a friendly. You know, the way you can do that is by either tapping the / to give you a direct command. Through text, or you can hold down the caps lock button and you see a little mic appear. While that mic's appearing, people can hear you, so be aware of that. It depends how you want to play the game. I mean, you can play the game really bandity, which basically means that you kill on sight, you know, you want all the items yourself. Or you can play like the way I play and try, you know, and talk people out of certain things. And you can see there, that is a zombie, our first zombie. Now, zombies are a little glitchy at the moment, it's got to be said. They are very glitchy at the moment, and the best way of dealing with a zombie at the moment in the current build is by finding stairs, running up the stairs and hoping to Christ he doesn't come up. And normally they won't come up because they're glitchy. Now, as you see, I don't actually have enough space for this, but I can just right click and then choose to eat all of it or eat just some of it. I'm actually going to eat all of it. And you can see my character's just going to eat it just like that. I actually go into first person when I'm in battle, like I'm trying to kill a zombie or I'm trying to kill a person or trying to defend myself. And I choose to go into third person for everything really else. You see a lot more in third person. You can see what your character looks like as well, which is pretty cool. I like how, you know, your character changes depending on what you currently have equipped, because a lot of MMOs are lazy and they don't really do that. They just give you a default skin, which is fine sometimes, really. But I think in this game it's useful because people want to see what you've got. You know, it's more dangerous to carry around a weapon because people will be like, "Whoa, dude, you got a weapon." So we're just going to keep scavenging around. It's mainly what you want to be doing right now. You saw that I got some. Oh shit! Oh shit! Move out the way, pal. I'm out of here. See you later. You saw that I got the tin of beans earlier. Now I don't actually have anything to open those tin of beans with, which is kind of a concern. But I should be able to find something soon enough. This town isn't great. Oh, there's some better pants there. They've got 6 slots instead of 4 because they got more pockets. And that zombie just glitched through the wall. Yeah, they do that, so be careful. In the current build anyway, it is alpha after all. I've just left beans behind. I need my beans. Nope. Oh, you missed. You suck. Matrixed him. Okay, so it's worth saying that when I do get a weapon, you want to make sure that you're not constantly running around with it in your hands, you know, ready to slice up a bitch, because people won't take that as a kind response. If you find people, you really want your weapon kind of away. I'm trying to work out where the hell I am. So we're actually set in Russia. This place is set in Russia because of the Arma 2 engine is obviously, you know, or the game even is set in Russia, so you know all the towns are Russian. So this is Openovu. I have no idea where that is, to be quite honest with you. But I guess, you know, we'll just have to keep running around and find something familiar that I kind of know of. The zombie isn't giving up too easily, so we're going to have to try and find a weapon and deal with him soon. And we're also thirsty, because we ate those crunching crisps. But they are ludicrously tasty, so I had no option. And we've got a server glitch, or a server desync, so we're going to have to change servers in a minute. Oh wait, maybe not. Okay, that's different. It actually disappeared. That normally takes you off the server. That was odd. But yeah, I can see a city just down here, or I can see the coast, which is also a good thing, because I know where about I am when I get to the coast. The way I'm turning whilst running, by the way, guys, is if you hold down the Alt button and then you move your mouse around, you won't move your character while you do that. You just move the camera, so you can look around, which is really useful. But yeah, right now I really need to find some drink, and I think I know where this is. I think this is near a place called Con. And the way that people on DayZ actually talk about towns, because they're in Russian, no one really understands Russian, aside from if you're Russian, of course, is by maybe, you know, like a shortened version of that name. So maybe like the first 3 letters, so like Khan, Cam. But there are maps online that have the English translation, which is really useful. For example, Electrocost, or whatever the friggin' hell it's called, is called just Electro. So it's easy to understand. Yeah, I think I am near Khan. This is the factories near Khan. If I do get to Khan, there's a chance that I can find different items. There's also a barn over there. You can find different weapons in there. What I should mention as well, guys, is that certain places hold certain items. So if you find like a police station, you're more likely to find weapons. You're more likely to find like combat gear, like army gear and stuff like that. Whereas if you go into like a tool shed, you're more likely to find like an axe and stuff. And I like that. It keeps it kind of the simulation sort of accurate to our real life circumstances. Oh fuck's sake, there's nothing in this barn. Sometimes you can find like clothes in here. Ooh, a can of Pepsi. Don't mind if I do. I'm gonna crack that open. This is how I unwind on a zombie apocalypse. Have a nice Pepsi in a barn. There's nothing around here that I need. There might be something over the other side though. Be careful as well, you can break your limbs. Oh damn, I'm gonna need that. I'm actually gonna open up me a can of beans with this knife, just by dragging the item over like that, and I'm gonna eat them all. Yum 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 beans, whole beans. So we're not doing too bad, we're still thirsty, which is obviously going to be a problem for a while. I'm actually going to open the other set of beans as well. And you can see like a percentage there when I opened it just then. So you got like 72. That changes depending on the quality item, and it also changes depending on the item itself. If you find a can opener, no matter if it's damaged or not, you're going to get 100% worth of the food. And that's why that item is really quite rare. You don't find it too often. Just a freaking 2 sets of trainers. I don't really need those. Yeah, you want to be really careful where you're running, really, because you might fall and break your leg, and the only way you can repair that is by a few different items. You can make a splint out of some wood and some bandages. And as you can see, I actually haven't found any bandages, guys. So, as I said before, that T-shirt you really do want to rip that up and use it up. Like, I'm gonna tear that one into rags as well. Combine the rags together. So I've got quite a few rags now. Should I start bleeding for any sort of reason? Alright, so these barns are quite good for weapons sometimes. You can find rifles in here every now and then. That is quite a rare occurrence, but it does happen. Well, there is a wrench. I'm going to use that. So just like any other MMO, you've got like an action bar just down here, and that's how you select weapons quickly. So if I press the 1 key, it gets out my whatever's set to that 1 key at this time, and that's a wrench. So I'm running around with the wrench in my hand, and if I should see, you know, like a bandit or something, or just a, you know, a casual person, I'm gonna not want to be in this stance because that looks threatening. I want to be in this stance, and you know, maybe, you know, give up the hi. And the way you do that, you just press F1. You can surrender yourself by pressing F2, which just means you put your 2 hands in the air. So if you find a bandit and he's like, put your hands in the air or I'll shoot you, it's F2. It's worth knowing, to be honest, because that does happen a fair bit on this game. Like I said, it's very bandity. There's a few houses that I'm going to check out. There's also a tool shed in this factory here that is actually really useful. You do find quite a bit of shit in the tool sheds. Oh damn, zombie wants to play, eh? Well, I got me a wrench, and I've played enough Bioshock to know this is going to cause some damage to you. Come here. So if you hit them in the head, they'll fall over straight away, and then you can whack them while they're down. That's probably the easiest way to deal with a zombie. And I always recommend going into first person, because it's freaking hard to aim in third person. So this zombie doesn't know when to die again. It already died the first time. It should have remembered how it died and then just died again. There we go. Yeah, sorted him out. And you can see I'm bleeding, so obviously we want to bandage up. And there's an animation for that. I do like how he's added a lot of animations, and I am really liking this game. Like, it's a really fun game, and honestly, for 20 quid, one standalone price for an MMO, you know, no subscription fee, can you really moan at that? I know it's in alpha, but I like that he's doing that. I really like that about Minecraft when that first came out, and you were like, you know, oh wow, I've got the alpha game, you know, I can go into beta, you know, I'm following the game, and when it does come out, I do have that. I'm actually going to change my knife for the screwdriver because it's in better condition, and you can open up cans with the screwdriver as well, worth knowing. You can also use it as a weapon. I'm going to eat this pepper, this whole pepper. I like my spicy food. As I've been talking over what I've been doing, but I found a wool coat, as you can see, and that has pockets in as well. It's always really useful to find items with pockets, so you've got more chance of staying alive, more pockets to keep your stuff in. And this has actually been opened, and I'm a little bit scared, to be honest. Should be alright. Some vitamins here, they're quite good should you feel ill. And can of Sprite, some alcohol tincture, which are really good for wounds should you get shot. Is that a blood bag? Yeah, blood bag. So basically, when you start losing blood, which I haven't explained yet, when you do start losing blood, eventually you'll pass out from blood loss. And the way you get your blood back up is by being healthy. The way you get healthy is by eating and drinking enough to get the 2 buffs that you need. 2 buffs you need, the one I've got currently is the energized. The other buff that you want is the is hydrated, which is that one there, which is awesome as that just appeared. And if you get them into a lime green colour, eventually you'll start getting healthy and you'll regenerate blood. Now, bandaging doesn't repair blood, it just stops blood from spurting out of your veins. It's worth knowing. That's a defibrillator, but you know, I don't have any friends, so I'm not going to be wanting to have that. Don't drink the disinfectant. I wouldn't even... You know what, I would pick it up, because some things are infected. And you see there, I got the stuffed buff, which means that you don't want to eat anymore. And the thing I haven't explained as well... I don't eat that. Thing I haven't explained as well is that certain items like fruit and stuff like that are rotten. Don't eat rotten items. I know you're starving, but just don't eat rotten items. Reason for that is because you'll get sick. And when you get sick, you'll start to eventually pass out, and people can run around and loot your gear that you've spent ages trying to get. What else can I explain while I'm ahead? There's a sewing kit there. They're quite useful. can mend your gear should it be damaged. It's worth mentioning as well, when your gear is damaged, that you will take more damage. You know, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure if that makes any sense to you guys, but you know. Basically, you know, if my wool coat was badly damaged and I took a hit from a zombie, I'm more likely to start bleeding straight away. Whereas if it was pristine, I'd probably take the hit, maybe. Depends really. Armor gear is always going to be the best gear. The army gear is always the best. You know. Can't get in that door. So there are certain doors that you actually can't get in, and you know it's alpha, so they might add those in. But I'm really impressed with the amount of buildings you can currently get in. Like, I am not a player of the DayZ mod from Arma 2. I just jumped straight into Standalone, so I'm aware that there is a lot missing. You know, there's like, you know, the cars. Obviously, a big thing is the lack of cars. I'm actually going to take that over the disinfectant. Spray disinfectant spray on the saline there. So you can spray the spray things with the disinfectant to obviously disinfect it, which is useful, because you do get a lot of infections in the game that people aren't actually aware of. You could, you know, just pick up a bandit mask from off the ground that someone's been wearing. They've been coughing all over it, splurting all over it, and you get, you know, you put that mask on, you'll get the infection, and your guy will start, you know. There's no debuff for that currently, for being infected or being non-healthy. Obviously, if you are healthy, you don't have any infections. That's easy to know. The other thing that's easy to know is if your screen starts to get blurry, then you've got the infection. And if your character's shaking when you're starting to aim at shit. Character's shaking, that probably means he's infected with something. So just keep eating and drinking until you're healthy, and then you'll get rid of that. Should mention as well, when I was talking about blood bags before, I'm sorry I'm sort of blurting everything out at once, but I'm trying to get as much out as I can as possible, because there's a lot about this game. But yeah, what I should mention is with blood bags, and blood in general, you want to test your blood type. If you get the wrong blood type with someone, you'll pass out. You'll get into a state of shock, and you'll just pass out. So you want to make sure that when you do a transfusion with a blood bag, with your buddy or someone you find around, you want to make sure that you both have the same blood type. Otherwise, you won't match, and you'll die. Simple as that. It's also worth mentioning, if you put your gear away, you will run a lot faster. The only problem is with this is if you run into a zombie, you've always got that little bit of time to get your weapon out, and you know that could cost your life. As I say, I've only had this game for about a month now, so everything I'm telling you, this is kind of what I've picked up from learning about the game. And there's a backpack, which I've been looking for. Now, with the backpack, obviously, you get a hell of a lot more slots. Need these wellies. And some gloves. And now, obviously, I can start taking a lot more. Now I've got the backpack, which is really useful. You know, I really wanted to find a backpack a lot earlier than this, but then again, I haven't left that much gear lying around. So it should be alright. Ooh, a can of spaghetti. So sometimes you might run into a survivor and they might just want a bit of food and drink. You know, you might be able to trade with them. Sometimes, you know, you might run into someone who just wants to troll you. There's a lot of trolling in the game. Hello, pickaxe. So a pickaxe is a lot stronger than the wrench. Which is kind of obvious. I mean, look at the friggin' size of the thing. But it's also a two-handed weapon, and two-handed weapons, although they're slower to attack with, they deal more damage. Still can't find any people around, which is good, I guess, for now. I kind of want a gun before I find anyone, just so I can really protect myself should shit turn sour. But I've run into a few guys, and you know, they just kill me on sight. But I've run into a few as well that have been really nice and had a laugh with. So I guess it's like real life. Street sign over there, and I believe I was right. I believe that what I just searched was con. So heading down here is Cam, and that is when we're going to find our first police station, and hopefully find a weapon. A gun even. If you find a gun, you want to find ammo. And each different weapon takes different ammo, and it takes a little bit to get used to, you know, what kind of weapon type you need for the ammo, but you never know, and then you'll find it out. You can see there I'm doing a lot of running as well. Being as there's no cars in the game, it kind of makes it a little bit difficult to get round. But I'm going to cut it here and just, you know, go back to part 2. And in part 2 we'll hopefully find ourselves a decent city, and I'll be able to talk to you a lot more about this awesome game. So catch you later, dudes. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like the video, all that shit, and yeah, stay alive, dudes. Stay alive.